Okay, now, one, let's be real. I've already done 13 minutes of this video and my microphone was like disabled. It wasn't abled. So it was all there was no sound. There was no sound at all. So I had a funny reference to a movie from the 90s in the original intro. Maybe I'll tell y'all when we actually get to the video. So, the Evil Fall series continues with Power Ring. Let's get to it.
There is a difference between you and me. We both looked into the abyss. But when it looked back at us, you blinked.
Hi guys, I'm Grubby here. This is a DC Worlds Collide video. In this video, let's be real. Let's be real. Woke up this morning. One, LD player was not working again. This thing seems to be getting progressively worse. Two, I'm up here chit-chatting for 15 minutes until Damien is like, yo, I can't hear you unless it's just me. And I look and my OBS, I don't know. I think it's because of last night when I unplugged it. Like the microphone's gone. I'm like, oh, okay, for real? Okay, for real? And then I referenced, I don't know if, okay. I'm going to lose everybody under the age of 40 right now. There was a movie back in the day when there was this actress named Shannon Elizabeth. She came out right around the same time as like Jessica Alba. And let's just say they were of a similar flavor. And anybody in my age group at the time, teenage boys at the time, were like, oh, those are the hottest women on the planet. She was in a movie with Seth Green, the voice of Brian, and also old buddy from the Austin Powers movies. That's how we know him, called Idle Hands. Idle Hands was basically one of those teen comedies that they were doing in the late 90s that was just weird. It was like in the vein of American Pie. If you guys God, I'm losing anybody under the age of 40 right now. And basically his hand was possessed by the undead and he couldn't control it, so it would start doing, it's a teenage crude comedy in the vein of American Pie. So if somebody has a hand they can't control, I'm sure you can figure out where that movie was going. Anyway, God, what were we doing? Anyway, that's what this reminds me of. It feels like he can't control his hand the same way in that movie, and it's like, this feels creepy. This feels like an HR violation waiting to happen. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into Power Ring for the second time. All right, so the power of fear is greater than one can imagine. How Jordan's cowardice gave him this extreme power. Under the Power Ring's control, he took revenge on the world. Sure, you did. Basic attacks are becoming less and less effective against Power Ring. Strong superpower damage, especially from single target ultimates, will help destroy his constructs on time. All right, so team synergies that work the best. Batman, the single target one. I've already looked. I did in the previous earlier. Damien, I don't have in Level Link right now, and I actually replaced him with Black Canary, and I'm not really willing to take out Black Canary for Damien. Maybe it's just because of the level that I have him at, but he's not really doing it for me right now. Even though he applies bleeds, and I love bleeds. Batman, of course, I need to rank him up. Now that I have Lex, I'll be able to rank him up. But for right now, he's still only ranked 6. And then we have the abilities of Power Ring, which his kit, this is the only thing I have to complain about. And really, it's just because I'm a content creator. Man, these abilities get to be so long and so much reading. Might of the Power Ring. Cast Might of the Power Ring to deal the enemy 2 instances of super power damage, equal to 75% and 113% of his attack, respectively. You're saying that wasn't so long. Give me a minute. Hold my bird. Heavy Double Punch deals superpower damage equal to 150% of attack to all enemies. All right, like these are sounding kind of basic at this point. Oh, there's the long one. Okay, so summons constructs of Superwoman and Ultraman for 2 turns. Ultraman constructs have 30% physical damage reduction and deal physical damage equal to 50% of their attack stats to enemies in the front row. Superwoman constructs have 30% superpower damage reduction and superpower damage equal to 40% of their attack stats 4 times to an enemy with the highest attack. So Ultraman front row, physical damage. Superwoman, superpower damage, and single target, highest attack. After 2 turns, any constructs that are still on the battlefield will be absorbed by Power Ring, and the increase in his damage reduction by 30% for the rest of the battle. Ultraman constructs will boost the physical damage reduction, and Superwoman construct will boost the superpower damage reduction. So it's basically like he just wants to turtle. Bizarro. Okay, I'm gonna get to you in a second, Johnny. One sec, because I might look into that. All right. So then we have for fierce but frail. Ultimate abilities deal 50% more damage to Power Ring and his constructs. Actually, and Gianni, before I actually get into what you were suggesting, in the video when I was recording it with no sound, I was starting to notice that maybe I should not do the ultimates in auto, but do the ultimates myself manually. What do you think on that? All right, so ultimate abilities deal 50% more damage to Power Ring and his constructs, and this is why. This ability is why. With ultimate abilities from characters with single target burst tag, dealing an additional 50% damage on top of that. Constructs that take 30% less damage from the basic. Power Ring is invincible. Oh no. Constructs take 30% less damage from the basic attacks though. Damn. Power Ring is invincible while he has constructs on the battlefield. And this was the issue. The ultimate was going off for Batman, and Batman was actually in a bad position, and he kept attacking Power Ring while he was invincible. So it was just like a waste of an ultimate. When all his constructs have been defeated, Power Ring becomes confused, is knocked back 100% of his action bar, and takes 50% more damage. If Power Ring is attacked with an ultimate ability while invincible, he inflicts 1 stack of weaken, and this is what I wanted to avoid. On all enemies for 5 turns. And then this is kind of basic for the Crime Syndicate, where it becomes immune to control statuses. When he's inflicted with 1, it converts it to 1 stack of armor break, etc. And then the other is attack, defense, HP. There's a boost that you get when you're using this specific team synergy. That's Batman's. So Gianni, my main team is Bizarro, Martian Manhunter. I don't have Martian Manhunter though. Constantine, Kid Flash, and Wonder Woman. I got Lex. Who should I replace to put Lex instead of? Oh, you're asking a question. As much as I want to dump all over Constantine, he's a good tactical damage dealer. And if you don't have one to replace, I'm leaning towards Bizarro. But this is a situation where you can still put Bizarro in level link, right? You just want to put Lex up, of course, so you can level him up first. But Bizarro, this is the thing. With level link, we'll talk about it real quick. With level link is one of those things of, I'm demoting you, but that doesn't mean I don't get to keep playing with you. It just means that you're going to be at a level that's probably 10 below where my highest character is, or 20 below where my highest character is, but I can still use you a lot. So I would probably... Kid Flash heals too much. Constantine has too good a damage. Martian Manhunter is a legendary and good with that telepathic link. Wonder Woman, of course not. I'm taking Bizarro out. That's by deductive reasoning. That's not really anything against Bizarro at all, because he is a really good tank. Yeah, that's where I would go. All right, so... Hey, and if anybody disagrees, let me know. Okay, so basically what I was doing is trying to figure out the ultimate situation. And I'm going to let it run first so you guys can see. And then I'm going to maybe try it with the ultimate. So you can see Superwoman's coming out. And maybe... I'm debating on whether or not Superman should be removed. The 2 turns go by so fast, and they do not really take damage from basic attacks. So then by the time the second turn comes around, he's going to absorb them, and it's going to reduce the damage. Oh. Can you get through her? Nope. So we can't do enough damage to really get through them, at least at this level. To get through them. If I could get to, see, like right there at the end. Dang. All right, but we do get an ultimate over there on Hal Jordan Power Ring. I do, okay, this feels better than it did when I first did it. This does feel better. Okay, so now we have the Ultraman constructs, the physical damage. It would be, and this is the thing that I was trying to avoid, and I'm happy that it went that way. So previously in the video where I had no sound, Batman was in the center and he was attacking straight up the middle. But he's doing that while basically Power Ring is invincible. Kid Flash attacking Power Ring in the middle, I don't care. Kid Flash doesn't do damage anyway. So basically, I wanted to have my damage dealers on the outsides so they can attack the constructs and not waste any of their abilities trying to hit the Hal Jordan, the Power Ring, who is immune to it. So that worked out well. Okay. But now he's getting increased damage reduction because we can't get through the constructs in time. Which then you're saying, okay, well then you can get through it eventually. Yeah, I got 15 turns to do this though. So the less damage he takes, the more. Basically, he's going turtle. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know that he'll have damage enough to stop us. It's just that will we have damage enough to stop him? Especially if he keeps getting this damage reduction. Keep getting this damage reduction. Damn. So we got 6 turns to get through, and the other half of his health bar. And it may be that Superman is the weak link in this whole setup. And I'm genuinely wondering, which might be a problem, if I should just bite the bullet and put Damian in. Which will cost me 100 gems for that whole leveling thing to do it now, because I do it now for the video. But but it would be a good experiment to see, is it really like that? I feel like we're doing enough. Put it this way, not that we're doing enough damage, but I feel like adding Damian would not help. But now I'm curious enough to try to find out. But I mean, we don't. Or. Am I thinking about this in the wrong way? Should I put Zatanna in there so we have the strong attack and the frantic when we come out the gate with her advanced attack? She'll keep giving us strong attack and frantic. Yep, there's more. Yeah, so we'll never get through this. We're on our last turn now. Ugh. All right, so let's try to figure this one out. Got up to what? 65%. All right, so let's try to figure this one out. I'm tempted to try Zatanna real quick because of, as I said before, her ultimate, not her ultimate, but her strong attack. And let's see if I take out Kid Flash. We'll keep this here. If I take out Kid Flash, she's going to give us a sustain, but then she's also going to give us a strong attack. We'll do skip battle, so you guys don't have to sit through A. Where you going, Batman? Who said you were allowed to leave? We'll do skip battle, so we don't have to worry about all that. Let's see if this is an improvement. Nope, we died. Did not get any better. Okay. So I wish you could just kind of restart. They do a good job of the restart, but I wish you could just restart here. Okay, so then Kid Flash, basically because we just can't survive. Wait, was his synergy not in effect? I thought I put his synergy in effect. Okay, so we didn't die that time. So yeah, just 65%. Okay. Now the next thing is, okay, so for Batman synergy, we can just go here real quick. Raven, actually? Really, Raven. Star Sapphire. John Stewart, who I do want to work on. That actually is really good. I didn't know that he would be. Okay, that makes me curious as to whether or not I should put him in level link now too. Raven does revive, but we weren't falling, so that wasn't the problem. And she's only rank 5. So is Damien. Damien's only rank 5 too. So maybe if we put in Star Sapphire instead of Superman. Maybe. There she is. She also has that stun on her advanced attack, which they can't be stunned anyway, so it would just give them armor break. That might be good for us. Okay, let's see. All right, so that was good, but we did not improve. Okay. Did not improve. Am I gonna bite the bullet and go ahead and put Damien in level link? Remove someone. I'm trying to avoid it. I am. All right. Okay. Let me put in Damien and see what he can do. See if he'll get us a little bit further. Level link. Do not feel like spending these gems, honestly, but also can't wait an hour because it should have been done. Albeit, if I'm going to have to spend like 100 to get him out anyway, I might as well do this. That was dumb. Don't spend your gems the way I just did just there. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Don't. That was stupid. All right, so, and now does Damien still have his gear on him? Because I don't even know. He might have even gotten stripped. Okay, so he has this basic elite gear, so it's nothing fancy, nothing special. There's no helmet or anything that I can add to him right now that'll make him much better. So we can go with what we have on him now. And actually, in terms of quality, let's just go by enhancement level. Because sometimes I'll have something floating around that is not attached to anyone, okay? See, like, for example, this is, I'm not putting this on Damien, though, because I think I'll forget, and I don't want him to get to keep that. Okay. Yeah. Plus, that would just improve his HP. That wouldn't improve his attack. All right, so I guess that's it. Damien, you're all set. Let's see if you make a difference, little homie. Okay, so we remove Star Sapphire. We plop in Damien. Where you at? Right there. Nope, we're sticking with the Batman synergy. Cool. I'm tempted to put Nope. We're going to put Red Hood in front. Red Hood is a good kind of pseudo tank because he can revive. Ultimate ability. I mean, they recommend them, so I'll put them up here. Why not? Let's see what happens. All right, 2 of us fell. No improvement. So that was a waste of 500 gems. Yay. All right. So I think what needs to happen is I need to rank up and build up my tunes. I did get to level 65. I did get to 65%. So I'm not necessarily complaining. I feel like I could get more out of this, though. Still going to stick with that. Feel like I should be able to get more out of this. It bothers me. Oh, Red Hood fell. See, even putting Wonder Woman in. She's my strongest character. She's level 180 right now. So even putting Wonder Woman in did not improve it. You really got to stick to these synergies and the teams they recommend. Because now I could put my 2 legendaries, one at 170, one at 180. And you would think that would make a difference. We're all dead. It made no difference. Okay, so that is Power Ring. I'm going to keep playing at it, see if I can get them to work, or see if I can get any further. But thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it, hit subscribe and hit dislike. I'm okay with that as well. See you guys next time.